So, I did a video like this on The Flash some time ago. It's basically, how to make Arrow Season 7 great. I won't do this on Supergirl at all, probably not Legends. I haven't covered those trailers either because I didn't think there was that much to cover in them. But, yeah, that's why, if you're wondering. So, yeah, let's just, get into how I think they can make Arrow Season 7 great. So, as we know, in Season 7, Oliver Queen will be in prison. And I think that's a great idea for Season 7, considering Season 7 might be the last season of Arrow that we get. But I think it's great having him in prison. But as we also know, next season we'll have Batwoman in the crossover. So I'm thinking something how to introduce Batwoman. So, of course, Oliver in prison. So maybe having something like that to do with Batwoman. Maybe introduce like a bunch of Batman villains that Oliver will meet in prison. So in the canceled Green Arrow movie titled Escape from Supermax, the movie's actually about Green Arrow basically going to prison and teaming up with other villains to escape, which is what I think the first half of the Arrow season 7 will be like. But in the movie, he actually teams up with a lot of Batman villains. So why not have him team up with villains like the Penguin, some maybe villains like the Penguin and Two-Face and more Batman villains to escape prison, and maybe even he could even team up with the Joker to escape Supermax because he did that in the movie, and it seems like the show is taking inspiration from the movie at this point with Oliver going to prison and using other villains to help him escape. But I really hope they get like a bunch of Batman villains to help him escape, like in the movie. And then maybe when like the villains have escaped with Oliver, the villains are like, "Oh, we should go back to Gotham City," and that's how it ties into the crossover. With Oliver basically being like, "Okay, these are villains that I escaped with, but so I need to catch them." So Oliver go to Gotham to find them, and that's how they meet Batwoman. It's just one of the many ideas of how they could meet Batwoman and how that could work in with the crossover. And it's the way that I would prefer to have the way be in the crossover. But enough about the crossover. Let's talk about the copycat Green Arrow, who I think should be Roy Harper, who we haven't seen since season 6. I've already done a whole video on Roy's return. I will link it in the end of this episode in the outro if you want to check it out. Yeah, I think that Roy should be the copycat Green Arrow but looking back at it, I don't think Roy is the copycat Green Arrow because, I mean, Roy, he in season 2, when he accidentally killed that police officer, he was sad for the rest of season 2. I mean, a lot of season 3 also, he was shook. I mean, he was so sad that he killed that one police officer, and this copycat Green Arrow is like killing left and right. So I don't know if this is Roy, but I would like it to be Roy. All right, so Diggle, we obviously saw in the trailer him visiting Oliver, and I think in season 7, I think every member of Team Arrow have retired being vigilantes. But in Arrow season 6, we did see Diggle join Argus and become a member of Argus alongside Lila. So I think that's what his role is going to be in season 7, and I do think, that is what I want his role to be. Also, I don't really want him to be like a huge character this season. I just want him to pop up here and then, now, whenever we need something with Argus. Just have him pop up instead of Lila, and have Diggle more in the background instead, and just have him as an Argus agent whenever we need something from Argus. Because I just don't really want Diggle and Felicity on the show anymore. I just want to introduce some new characters this season, some from prison maybe, and since this may be the last season. And Oliver did offer Diggle the role of the Green Arrow in the end of season 6, which he turned down, which I think was good because Diggle as Green Arrow is so boring. But since he is an agent of Argus, I don't think he should be the copycat Green Arrow or be any hero for that matter, copycat Green Arrow or Spartan, because I think Diggle is just generally better when he is in the background. Then there is Felicity, who I think Felicity and William should kind of leave Team Arrow and go on their own journey this season. I think what they should do this season should basically just be them on the run from Richard Dragon, and Richard Dragon chasing them down, at least for the first 3 episodes, or at least until Oliver breaks out of prison. Then they could return. I don't want them to return. I just want them to kind of go on the run. Maybe Richard Dragon can kill them, but honestly, that's not what the show wants to do. I just kind of want Felicity and William to leave. I don't like any of those characters, none of them. I just really hope that they kind of just leave the show. What I think they should do. We also saw this in the trailer, Richard Dragon almost killing them, and that's what I think they should do. They should go on the run from Richard Dragon and not return. But that's not what they're going to do. But that's what I want them to do, Felicity and William, this season. But recently, this photo was leaked of Emily Bett Rickards with with the end of her hair pink, with her having longer hair and her wearing a cap, and it looks like she's actually working as a barista. So I guess Felicity Smoke could possibly be going undercover as a barista in the Flash season. Or what am I talking about? In Arrow season 7. I was about to say the Flash season 5. In Arrow season 7, she could be going undercover as a barista, which I think is, I don't know, I mean, I guess it's cool. I don't really care about it because, as I said before, I just want her to kind of go on her own journey with William, away from Team Arrow and away from the show, I guess. I don't think Arrow would go as dark as to kill a kid in William. So that's why, and I don't think they should kill William off either. I don't think even they should kill Felicity off. Or yes, I do. What am I talking about? Either kill Felicity off, either kill Felicity and William off, or make them better characters because they're not that good characters, both of them. But anyways, looks Felicity as a barista. I think last time we had a character in the Arrowverse as a barista, it didn't go so well for Hawk Girl, as she got a lot of hate. So hey, maybe the same thing can happen to Felicity, hopefully. But I think her going undercover as a barista is pretty cool. But I think I don't really know how that would fit into Arrow and the whole storyline they're going for this season. But yeah, Felicity as a barista. As for her new look, I think it looks pretty cool. I mean, it looks better than how she usually looks, in my opinion. Black Siren, as we see in the trailer, she is kind of taking on a role of how Laurel was. So I think this season she's basically just going to be Laurel, which is very, very good for me, since I want probably Black Siren more than anybody to become the Black Canary, because I just really think Dinah Lance should be the Black Canary and should be with Oliver instead of Felicity, because in the comics it is Dinah Lance who is with Oliver, and those two are together like always in the comics. So I think I think Laurel should become the Black Canary and should begin dating Oliver, and those two should basically be the main focus of season 7. And then Olicity can finally fuck off from Arrow. Fuck Olicity. Renee Ramirez. In this season, I think I think the role Renee should play in this season is all of the other, like, I think Dinah and Curtis should be like, Renee, come on, just retire for being a vigilante. And Renee should be like, no, I want to protect the city. And Renee's gonna, like, try to take down people and still be a vigilante and be approached a lot by the police, which I think is the role Renee should play until Oliver escapes, and then Oliver recruits Renee again to become a vigilante, and Renee and Oliver continue as vigilantes, along with Curtis, who I also think should be Mr. Terrific again. Or something that is this is probably less likely, but I would like to see it more, is Renee die, because I think Renee was a good character in season 5. I feel like season 6 kind of ruined Renee, especially with the suit. That thing was just gross. But I think Renee should preferably die or retire as a vigilante, but be recruited again by Oliver when he gets out of prison. Dinah, I think Dinah should retire as the Black Canary and just be a cop. So we still have that cop character on Arrow that we were missing in season 4 when Quentin, gave up was fired from being a cop. But I think Dinah should retire from being Black Canary and just be a cop, so we still have a cop character on the show if we ever need her. So Curtis, I think in season 7, just like Dinah and Renee, I think that Curtis should just chill out, just sit down, be with his boyfriend, and be more in the background, because I don't think he should be a vigilante anymore. I think he should, he is actually the guy out of all the 3 recruits that we still have left on the show. He's actually the guy that I want to become to still be a vigilante the most. I think out of all of them, Mr. Terrific is the best. Out of Black Canary and Wild Dog and Mr. Terrific, I think Mr. Terrific is the best character of the 3. So I think he should, in the first half of the season, he should just be chilling out. But when Oliver escapes, he should recruit Curtis, and Curtis should become a vigilante again. But that is how I think they could make Arrow season 7 a great season, possibly as good as season 5. And I really do hope season 7 is good as it could possibly be the last season of Arrow. But I really hope that it isn't the last season of Arrow, because Arrow was a great show. But that's what I want to see happen in Arrow season 7. Thank you for watching, and bye.